Yo, what up? All right, so remember how I said there's going to be some changes in Ashes? So one of them is the coding and encryption. Um, the people who do Codex and the people who do data mining for the game have reported that the new level of encryption on the PTR, the test server, is giving them a lot of trouble. It's hard for them to crack. So
Yeah.
if I were you, I would go on here and if you want any information where stuff spawns, whatever, I'd grab that now. It's subject to change. Um, so yeah, there won't be a codex to look at. Probably like 95% sure there's not going to be a codex unless somebody's like gets a team of people together and just like decrypts the new files that they've put into the PTR. Anyways, so that's bad news bears for pretty much everyone who uses Codex. Um, there is another change on the PTR. I did hear this in an interview. Somebody was suggesting for this change, and I guess they actually listened to this person and they made the change. And this is probably one of the worst changes uh, they made, and it's probably not something you would even think of. So before on current live, protection goes up to level 5. That means nobody can kill you until you are level 5, right? So once you hit level 5, I'm not, I can't remember if you have to be 5 or 6. It's either 5 or 6, but my point is it used to be level 5, and as long as you didn't go above level 5, you were protected pretty much. And you couldn't be killed while you're farming, so that means you can go and hunt grims. Like you see all the bots and stuff outside Riverlands down here hunting grims and whatnot. um, you know, it's annoying. So what I'm trying to say is they increased that protection, and I believe the new level is 10. So you can no longer attack anybody that is 10 and under, I believe, unless they fight back. Like they have to attack, like they have to flag up. Um, and this is just going to cater to bots. This is just going to cater to casuals. This is going to cater to people who run around with level 5, 10 alts and just gather trees. This is a bad move. I understand why they did it. It's so we can't grief like Asfond and Roach software or whatever while they're trying to level. But raising it to 10, it was already at 5. It's just a really bad move, dude. It's just gonna open up more avenues for the bots. It's gonna make farming harder for materials because you can't fight for the materials because these people are under level, but they can still mine and gather the materials, and you can't stop them from doing it. So yeah, it's just one of the worst suggestions and changes that they've made on the current PTR test, and I don't agree with it. It literally should be removed. It's dumb, and it's literally just gonna feed bots and Care Bears and casuals and just ruin the game for players like me who actually play the game and like contest spawns and fight for our resources, etc. And then this fishing, dude. The fishing was kind of fun. Sport fishing, guys. There's a lot of types of fish. There's this little, some bugs here and there, and I don't know. Hopefully they don't make the values too much. Hopefully they make them just right. We'll get there. I haven't tested the values myself yet, so I don't actually know the values. But yeah, Codex leaving is big news, guys. If the data miners can't actually decrypt the new PTR stuff, well, ripperoo. So yeah, it's got all these filters over here. You can select all these. Currently, all this stuff is working. Um, some of the spawns aren't in the right place, but it just gives you an idea if you're new to the game, if you're coming in for the Steam release, you want to learn the game. You should hop over to the Codex and maybe like record this offline so you have this as an offline website so you can just look at it whenever you feel. You can do like huntables, bosses, where the elites are, where all the dungeons are, where the Ember Springs are. Uh, it show. I don't think it has all the events, but it shows majority of the events. It does have where the lawless POI spawn, and it shows where the nodes are. It has a lot of useful information right now, and it's unfortunate that they increased the level of encryption. I don't know. I am at the point where we are planning to play without Codex, uh, based on just what we've been told by the data miners. And I think everybody should be planning to play without Codex as well, until further notice. So that means recording all this data. And the other thing that really sucks is if they're actually changing the stats on all the gear again. It's just a whole nother process. We got to relearn all the new stats, all the bonuses, what they do, the procs, the percents, all of it. Like, Bulwark, like within the past like 3 days, they've changed the set bonus of Bulwark 3 times. Okay, 3 times now. So and it's a different thing. Like they changed it in a different way each time. They changed, the proc chance. They changed how often it procs. They changed what the value of what Bulwark gives you. They changed a lot, and it's rapidly changing. They're really trying to find a balance, it seems. And yeah, it's without Codex, it's just going to be annoying tracking all these new stat changes and micro adjustments, as you would say, especially without like full flushed patch notes. Like they don't tell us every single change. They'll tell us like a few major changes, but other than that, got to figure it out for yourself, guys. Best way to learn is to hands on. So just play the game. Kind of sucks. So, anyways, yeah, Codex is gonna be no more. Like 95% sure of that. So yeah, pretty much knowledge is power. Knowing ahead of time is, very helpful. Knowing where things are, knowing how to acquire them, knowing the amounts of materials you need to make certain items. All this stuff is very useful. And if you plan on using it and or making it, I would get an idea, just a rough estimate of what it's going to require, what the materials are. I'd get all that pre-listed now. I'd get like, okay, here's my pre-bis set, here's my like, level 23, 26 set, and then here's my wish list, like which would be like level 29 gear. And then you would just go through all those items and you would take all the materials that are required for all the items and you would make a list of all these items, where they are, how to get them, best way to acquire, etc. Is it better to barter for this item or is it better to farm this item? There's a lot of things that go through my head when we determine how we acquire and or craft items. And that's not just me. There's we got Thunder and a couple other people who also do math and just simple logic and deduction, and that's how we've been just doing guild stuff. And I think taking the min-max route in this type of game is something that keeps your sanity. I couldn't imagine trying to create even item level 23 gear in an unorganized atmosphere. I wouldn't do it. I would lose my sanity. I literally would. So yeah, big suggestion, guys, record this, all the information off this. I don't know if they're going to take the website down, if it's going to be inaccurate data. If they can't continue to data mine and update the website, I don't know if they're going to keep the website up. I didn't even ask. But if they take down the Codex and you guys no longer have access to it and you didn't record it, well, bad news bears for you, because I'm not going to share all that information. That's a ton of information, dude. And I learned from Diablo 4, people are really bad at retaining information, even if you lay it out step by step, screenshots with literal instructions, how many steps to take, everything. People can't follow instructions. I guess that's why most people can't cook. I don't know. So anyways, I don't want to make the video too long. I just wanted to get that out there. Make sure you guys just get a offline save file, record this, whatever you want. This also goes into It's got a lot of stuff, but like I said, they're changing and flopping around all the stats and stuff. So I mean, the stats and whatever is irrelevant. For crafting though, I would look up like the crafting calculator and stuff is still pretty accurate from what we've seen. PTR to the website, like material cost and stuff like that, don't seem to have changed too much. The value um through process went down, I think, a little bit. I'd have to double check, but correct me if I'm wrong. I'm pretty sure it went down a little bit. But yeah, just knowledge is power, guys. You want to stay on top of the knowledge. You want to get all the information soaked in, and so you're ready for Steam release coming in December. And it's a lot of information to take in. It really is. It's not some 20-page book or something. Like it's a lot of stuff. Like there's a lot of NPCs, a lot of huntables, a lot of regions, a lot of materials, a lot of locations, a lot of different spawn rates. It's just a lot to learn. So yeah, I'll catch you all in the next video. I don't want to make it too long. Peace.